Hey, Erroll. We were talking to Coach Arnett a minute ago, and I was asking him a little bit about just the defense overall this year. And coming into this year, uh, all I guess dumb folks like me, probably looked at the defense and saw a lot of new faces and a lot of new guys, and didn't have very much in the way of expectations. But you guys came out this year and really, I guess, exceeded those expectations.
Yep.
What do you think kind of led to that? He was talking about how you guys did a good job of blocking out the noise and not listening to what folks thought you'd be, kind of thing. I guess from your vantage point, why were you guys able to be so successful on the defensive side this year?
I really feel like, really from the time that all the new coaches got here, I feel like all the new faces, like you said, I feel like everybody rallied around each other and kind of bought in just from a scheme standpoint and just coming in and learning the new scheme standpoint, and really just throughout the whole year, just having each other's back, man, and depending on each other, falling back on your brother each week, and just playing for each other. So I really just feel like we banded together and just did it for each other, really.
Ben?
On paper, I think they've got like three running backs that have basically the same amount of carries. They kind of rotate those guys in pretty regularly. I mean, in terms of any other team, I guess how do you kind of prepare for that? And when you're seeing that many different guys out of the backfield, and I guess if I remember right, Louisiana did a little bit similar last year. Is that at all comparable?
Yeah, it's about the same. Louisiana had 2-3 guys that they rotated, and Tulsa does as well. They all feel like Tulsa has pretty big physical guys that can run the rock. So it's kind of the same as Louisiana, but I feel like these guys are a little more physical, and they all can carry the load, all do the same thing.
Paul?
Obviously, Erroll, you still got time to make a decision about next year, and some seniors can come back and play again. Have you given much thought to that yet, or what's kind of your own timeline, to make that decision about next season?
No, I really haven't, gave too much thought about it. I've talked to a couple of my coaches, on the staff about it, but no, not really. Haven't really thought about it, and I mean, we'll just take it after the game, really, just to sit down and really just reflect and see the pros and cons of everything, and kind of just go from there.
Steve?
Erroll, after the abbreviated game against Missouri for you, I mean, do you feel like you got something you got to get out there and show as a potential final game at Mississippi State? Obviously, that's not the way you wanted to go out, but does it give you a little extra motivation to think this might be the last time in Roanoke White?
Definitely, especially after the last game at home, of course, ending like it did. It does motivate me a little more to want to go out and play. So it's that. So it does motivate me.
We'll go back to Ben.
Kind of a follow-up to that. I mean, in terms of that whole thing, the targeting, obviously you get ejected for that, but like, what was that like for you as a senior and dealing with that? And I know you were back out there pretty quick, getting back on the sideline, but what was that like for you and maybe your last game at Davis Wade?
Pretty emotional, man. I mean, pretty emotional. It being the last game of the year at home or whatever, so pretty emotional, but it is what it is. I mean, I got called for targeting, so I got to play within the rules, so it is what it is.
How quick were you back out there? I mean, were you fixing to get back out there real quick?
Yeah, maybe in like the next 2 minutes I came right back out. Just took my pads off. So.
We'll go back to Joel.
Thinking back again, Erroll, on just the defense throughout the year, I know there were several games, maybe most games, you guys obviously weren't at full strength on the defensive side. Were there ever any times over the course of the year where you kind of looked around and saw what you had to work with in a particular game and thought, man, just not too many guys here today. I don't know how we're going to do it type thing. Were there ever any of those moments of trepidation, I guess, throughout the year?
Honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Nah, I never really, looked at, the guys around me, more or less. I always just looked at it like, I mean, Coach Arnett did a great job preparing ones, twos. It didn't really matter. So I knew whoever stepped out on the field, no matter if they had played in the game or not, that they would be, mentally ready. So, I never really looked at it like that. I just was ready to compete with no matter who it was.
And kind of following up on that, is that a situation where next year State could really, I guess, benefit from some of the guys that had to play so much this year? I guess from your vantage point, how big a deal is that to go ahead and get on the field and get that experience?
I think it's a big deal. Me personally, me getting on the field early, I feel like it helped me, down the line. And I feel like I mean, more experience is always better, especially in the ACC. So these young guys getting on the field, I mean, I feel like they can do nothing but go up and get better. So it's definitely a good thing.